Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Justin Torres, who will be fighting on Fury FC 80 on June 25th. Hello, Justice. How are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Justice, you are coming off the really big win, the TKO leg kick win over a really tough opponent. So please tell me about your thoughts about this fight and how much confidence it gave you.
Going into that fight, I was actually very confident. Now not thinking that I was gonna TKO him with leg kicks, but I go into fight every fight really confident. I just knew I had to push the pace on him. You don't want to stay at range with a long guy, so that was really it.
And overall, I think that it was a really, really good opponent. He was 5-1, all wins by submission. So he can give you some problems, but in the end, it was like quite easy win for you.
Yeah, really. I knew he had the submissions on his side. Like that wasn't, but I don't really pay mind to that. At the end of the day, I'm going in there to handle business and do what I feel comfortable with. And I was confident, even if it went to the ground. I know my jiu-jitsu is good enough for him not to be able to submit me. So I wasn't worried if it went to the ground or if we kept it on the feet. But every time I go into a fight, I want to get a knockout. So I like to try and keep it standing.
Yes, and it was a nice finish, a little bit like Edson Barboza.
Yeah. It felt good getting that. I've never like I said, I never thought for one that I was gonna get I didn't know his leg. I was kicking it hard, but I didn't realize it was doing that much damage. And so when he went down, that's why I was like, I thought maybe he kind of like just kind of tripped down maybe or something. And I kept telling him to get up. So, but when he didn't want to get up, I went ahead and just kept kicking his legs. And that's whenever I was like, wow, I got my first TKO leg kicks. Let's go.
And for last 2 years, you were quite busy fighter because you have 7 fight, also a winning streak. But right now you are scheduled to fight once again against Matt Jones, who is also a really good fighter. He have a win over Youssef Zalal, who was fighting in the UFC. So please tell me about what do you think about this opponent and what would be next for you after this fight?
As far as the opponent, I mean, I've done a little bit of research. You look him up on Tapology and try and find a fight or two, but I haven't really found too much on him. I just know he's a good striker from what I hear, and what I've seen a little bit. He has a little clip on YouTube of getting a nice. But I'm gonna fight my fight at the end of the day. That's something that's always been preached to me is fight my fight. So I'm just gonna go in there and handle business. And now is what's next. I want that contender series, man. I'm trying to move up to the next level. So it's gonna be all gas from here, no breaks. And I'm trying to go
Yes,
all the way to the
the
top.
featherweight division in Fury FC is quite solid one. We have really good fighters there, but
Mhm.
of course I think that the contender series is like the main goal for you. It's the most interesting thing because it can bring you straight to the UFC.
Yeah, no, the Fury. I mean, Fury altogether as a whole, they have stacked divisions from top to bottom, but yes, definitely the featherweight division I say is one of the most stacked. You got me and my boy Michael Aswell both about to be 8-0. We're the 145 kings of that division, man. So and getting to the contender series, yeah, I think everybody wants to get there. But I'm fine with even taking a short notice. If they called me, say, "Hey, we need you to fight in 2 weeks for the actual, a UFC event," I would do it. So I'm ready for a contender series, short notice. I'm ready to make it all the way and start making a name for myself in the big leagues.
Yes, and last weekend the Jim Miller opponent was like 1 week short notice fight. So maybe
Yeah,
also there will be a chance for you in this case.
yeah, no, that definitely that Jim Miller, man, he had that was a nice knockout. Now going in there, I mean, that and I believe his name was Jesse Butler. So hats off to him, man, fighting a legend like that. You know what I mean? Jim Miller's a legend of the game. He's been in the game forever. So I can't even lie. Probably me going in there, I would be, you're gonna be nervous whenever you step up, but that's something that I believe that I would still take. And hats off to him for taking that on a week's notice.
And please tell me about your beginnings in the sport. What was the first discipline that you ever train?
Well, so I've always played like contact sports and stuff. I was always like a hothead growing up. So whenever I got into MMA, I just went to a nearby gym in Kingwood called McCusker MMA, and we just did jujitsu and a couple boxing classes here and there. And that's whenever I really just started like I just honestly jumped right in after about 2 3 months of training. I took my first amateur fight and that was it. But I started when I was 19. So some of these guys they start when they're like 12. Shit, some of them start even younger than that. But I started when I was 19, and I'm 25 now. So I just jumped right in, and that was really it. There was no really specific discipline that I practiced at.
And where do you currently train?
I train with Metro Fight Club at O Athletic, and then I've actually recently I started going to 4 ounce on Fridays to get some work with those guys. They're all super solid, great wrestling, good coaching, and then on Saturdays I will go to Heritage Muay Thai, and I'll go train over there and get some sparring rounds in.
So in Metro Fight Club, you have a chance to train with Adrian Yanes, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Training with him, man, is very good.
Yes, because he's like maybe of course he lost his last fight, but before that he was like seems to be an unstoppable force, and I think that it will be not end
Yeah, dude.
for him. He will win many fights after the Rob Font fight.
Yeah, no, for sure. That mean Adrian is man, he's got that it factor is what it is. And he may have had like a little hiccup, but I mean no one count him out because that dude he's gonna bounce back and he's gonna start knocking people out again. So I look forward to seeing him fight again too.
Yes, and you also train with Michael as well, who is also one of the
That's my
best
boy.
prospect, and he will be fighting on the same card.
Yeah. So Michael, he's like the little big brother. I'm older than him, but he teaches me things and I learn a lot from him actually. So him and his dad, man, I love them to death. They're like, those are my people, man.
And you are right now quite young fighter. And in the future, do you see yourself in lightweight division, or you prefer to stay in the featherweight division for many years?
I honestly I don't know. See, I feel like right now, for example, like right now, every time I weigh in, like my last weigh in, I weigh in at 46. But usually before the fights before that, I've come all the way down to like 42, and it's not even intentionally. I can get down, so I think I could even make 35 if I wanted to. I just got to make some life changes as far as eating healthy throughout outside of camp. But lightweight, man, those guys are big. But I mean, hey, you never know. You never know. Maybe I do all three.
Yes, and maybe this short notice fight can be in the lightweight division because it's always
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, if they offered me that, if they said, "Hey, we got a guy in lightweight," you know, I don't got to cut too much weight, I'll go ahead and do that too. I'm down for that.
and overall, would you be interested also in getting a chance in the Bellator or PFL, or you are only focused on the UFC right now?
I mean, obviously the everybody wants the UFC. It's got the name. It's the pinnacle, at the top. So of course that. But at the end of the day, if a Bellator was like, "Hey, we're gonna offer you a bag," you know what I mean? Wherever the money's at the end of the day. So I would be fine with anything at this point. But I personally do want to fight with the UFC. I think they're the best company. Adrian and everyone else, they talk about how good they are. You only hear good things about them. So I would love to fight for them to be able to say I was a UFC fighter. But like I said, I'm open to Bellator, PFL. I'm down for any of them.
Yes, and of course the UFC is also the most stacked like organization, especially in this like lightweight
Mm.
division, featherweight. So every fight is really tough one.
Exactly. And I think also too, like if you want to call yourself the best in the world, fighting with the UFC is going to be, that's where like people really like is the best in the world because they have the best of the best.
And let's say that you have a chance to have a dream fight with any fighter in the world right now. Who do you like to face in this scenario?
Ooh, I never really thought about that. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I mean, everyone. The easiest answer is going to say you want to fight McGregor, no, get the money. But um, hmm, in the featherweight division, um, I feel like I would have liked to fight like back in the day. I would want to fight like a vintage Jose Aldo. That would be a cool fight. It'd be a tough fight, obviously, but you know, someone like that. He's a legend of the game. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yes, and
Shit, even fighting Max Holloway, that would be something amazing.
yes, and about Rosaldo, it was unbelievable that he was on the top for like 14 years. So in both divisions, so
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And who is your favorite fighter to watch? Except
To
Rosaldo,
watch,
yes, because he retired recently.
yeah, to watch in the UFC. Man, I got a few that I really love. Like I love watching, obviously, like Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier. I can't wait for their fight coming up. I always bring it, but man, I loved watching Khabib. He was actually one of my favorites. I just loved how dominant he was and how like the I really fell in love with his style and just also too how he fights was whenever he fought Michael Johnson and he was talking to him and he's like, you know, I deserve this. And he's like, you know, he's beating his ass. That's what I was like, man, dude, that guy's something else.
Yes, he was the for the last 2 or 3 years he defeated everyone, Poirier, Gaethje, so
Mhm.
he was
Yeah.
unstoppable. So it was like maybe his style was not super exciting, but it
And just
it
not
it
even
was
like beating
something.
them. It was just he was so dominant. It was just it was just amazing to see how dominant he was against these top level guys. Like it didn't matter who it was, he just dominated from start to finish. He controlled the fight, and he literally like won every round.
And what do you think? What was the best performance for you for now in your whole career?
Out of all my, it's my best performance. I mean, honestly, I can really just say my last fight because you know I barely got touched. I think he hit me with like a couple of like hooks whenever we were like in the blend, whenever I kind of like came in. But other than that, I mean, he tried shooting in. I ragdolled him to the ground, hit him with a little trip, stayed on, was beating him up, and then after that, TKO'd him in like the first 30 seconds of the second round with leg kicks. So I would say that one for sure.
Yes, and I also like your performance against, I believe, the Harrison, who hold you in the triangle choke, and you defended it and go
Oof,
for
man.
rear naked and finish him really quickly. So it was also great
Yeah,
because
that.
you showed that it's hard to break you.
Yeah, no. See, actually, a lot of people, I don't if I've ever said this or not, but a lot of people going into that fight, um, it was real tough mentally to get into it just because I was going through some personal stuff, and going in there, that's why like at the end all the emotions came out. It wasn't that like I almost lost and all that. It was more of a personal stuff I was going through. But yeah, no, that fight I definitely had to dig deep. I've never been that close to getting finished. I remember I was almost going out, and then I just told myself, I'm like, dude, you're not about to lose. And I just like hit that extra gear, and I was able to get out that triangle. But he had that thing deep. That was for sure. That thing, I thought for sure if I picked him up and slammed him, you know, I thought one, it would look cool, and two, I would get out. But it kind of gets, I was SOL. It kind of put me in deeper.
Yes, yes, like you said, it looks really cool, but it can be dangerous.
Yeah. Hey, I got a cool photo out of it though. Like I have that photo of me holding them up in the air, and I'm like, man, that's a dope photo.
It's a little bit like slam from professional wrestling.
That, and then also too, it reminded me of the Rampage one. Whenever Rampage slammed, I forget his name, and he knocked him out.
Yes, yes, I remember. It was Cardarona. Oh,
Yeah.
and right now your like main goal is to go to the UFC.
Mhm.
But when you will know that you made it as far as MMA, when you will be in the UFC, maybe you will be in the ranking.
Are you, so you're asking like when will I know that I made it like all the way,
Yes,
like
yes,
overall career wise?
yes. That is
I
was
think
worth it.
I think whenever I accomplish whenever I accomplish all my goals that I have, I had the goal when I first started this at 19 that I wanted to be in the UFC by 26. I'm 25 now. I don't turn 26 till October. So October 19th to be exact. So like I said, I want to get that goal, and then I want to, I guess I'll say it simpler. I'll just say whenever I have like generational wealth, whenever I have enough money for me, my kids, and my kids' kids, I just want to. That's all it is at the end of the day. Is providing for my family. That's whenever I know I've made it, and I know I did everything I wanted.
Yes, and I think that overall you are a good point. Of course, there is a lot of work to do, but you are on the like good point on in your career, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, no, I'm definitely. What's crazy is though is like a lot of times I'm not gonna say that I doubt myself, but like I don't realize where I'm at in like I guess you could say like my MMA career, because some people are like, man, you're there, you're on the doorstep, you're one fight away and this and that. But in my mind, I'm like, I feel like I just started. I don't think of myself as this great, amazing, top level guy. But then when people say that, I hear it. But I mean, believe it too. Like I'm always confident. I don't know. It's just a weird feeling. So like, I guess it's kind of like surreal whenever people are like, "Hey, you're one fight." When I hear like you're one fight away from being to the Contender Series, like, and that's been my dream since I started. So it's kind of surreal to see that I'm getting closer and closer.
and also I think that advantage of your career is that you really faced really tough opponents like Talavera, like Mercado. It's not a 7-0 fighting with some no names, but there are really good fighters on the regional scene. So you will be not surprised by level of your opposition, let's say in the Contender Series.
Yeah. No, actually, I actually didn't know this fact, but whenever I did the Fury podcast with Eric and the guys, they told me that between my last, I think it was either three opponents or two opponents, they had a combined record of 17-2. So I think that was three, the last three. So yeah, they had a combined record of 17-2. So they're like, you're not fighting no slouches. You're in there, dominating good guys and get showing like, performing.
And how do you deal with the stress before the fights?
You said, how do I
Deal with the
the
stress
stress
before?
before?
Yes.
Um, really, each fight, it's if you look back from my first fight all the way down to now, the stress has slowly gotten less and less. I think this is with the buildup of confidence. As far as like stress, like on my right before the fight, I like to hang out and watch the fights. I can't be cooped up, so I guess that comes with like more so nerves. But like stressing out over a fight, I don't ever really stress on it like that. I don't like to put stuff on my shoulders and make me like dwell on it. I just kind of, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm ready to handle business, and that's really it.
Yes, and sometimes it can be like this paralysis by analysis, so that you are so focused on this that you are much more stressed than you should be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't like to, I mean, I honestly don't even stress about, and I like to not try and stress on anything in life. Like I just kind of, everything's like water on a duck's back. I just kind of just let it go, and well, like I said, whatever happens, happens. I can only control what I can control. So stressing on a fight like, oh my gosh, am I going to get knocked out? Is it going to take me down? I mean, I know at the end of the day, I'm training hard. So whatever happens in this fight is going to happen. It's going to be, God's will at the end of the day. But as far as like before the fight, like nerves and stuff like that, like I said, each fight I've got less and less nervous, confidence that I've been growing throughout training and performing in these fights. And like I said, I like to sit with my family in the crowd during the beginning of the fight, so I can watch these fights, and that's when I kind of start pulling like from the energy from the crowd, seeing everybody, and then I go upstairs. I don't like sitting upstairs like a caged animal.
And after the fight, what do you like to do in your free time? Let's say that you can train. You are a little bit like beat up. So what do you like to do outside of fighting?
Well, my life really, I mean, my life always has revolved around my kids. I have two kids. So, for example, after the fight, I take that Monday off, and I usually have a Father Sunday with my take them out to eat, and we go spend the day together. I go take them to go see a movie, go get some food. But as far as like if I'm not training overall, it's really just spending time with my kids and my wife, because I'm always, like I said, the moment I get done from here at work at 4:30, I drive straight to the gym, get there by 5:10, run 3 miles, train, get home by 8:30, 8:45, and then I gotta cook dinner, get the boys ready for bed, and it's rinse and repeat, and it's just nonstop. So even if I don't have a camp, it's the same thing. It's training. So when I finally do like take a break, spend time with them, I like to do that. We'll go to the park, watch movies, just hang out and spend some quality time.
And let's say that there is no limitation about like time or money. What would be the skill that you would like to learn outside of fighting?
A skill that I would like to learn outside of
Yes.
fighting. Well, if I had the time and I could just do whatever. I love riding motorcycles, man. I used to have a Gixxer 1000, so I love to ride. I'd want to be able to just go riding, really. Because that would be, if I had the money to buy a bike again and do that, I'd spend that on that.
So maybe you will be able to do it after your UFC debut.
Hey, I can't. I always I tell my wife, I'm like, man, I want to get us set up first. But once again, yeah, I told her I'm gonna get she calls them like a little crotch rocket, but I want to get H2 and get back to riding again. So hopefully get that UFC money coming in and I can get me my bike that I want.
So, Justice, many thanks for this conversation. I hope that you will be able to beat Matt Jones, and who knows, maybe you will fight. You will be fighting Jim Miller this year.
You never know. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes crazy things happens.
Hmm.
So many thanks and good luck in this bout.
I'm sorry. Say it again. I got scratchy.
Many thanks for this conversation and good luck
Oh,
in the
thank you.
few
Thank you.
weeks.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for having me on too. I appreciate it.